Hello there, and welcome to this video, live stream, whatever, where we're going to go through some lists, basically, and hello world, let's check the chat, make sure that's working, seems to be nice, cool. So there's been a few tournaments over the weekend, 5 that I've managed to locate. Got some interesting results. I think Dwarves have won one, which is interesting, but the others are, you know, pretty much what you expect. Just to go through all the tournaments, this one in Toyment was only a 1500, so didn't quite meet. I want to see 60,000 points deployed. Didn't quite meet that. Some other tournaments looked like they might, but for some reason, when I was looking at the results bit, it just wasn't showing that. So yeah. So these were the ones I was looking at. The new recruit really only showed this one. So there we go. Anyway, Saffron Fantasy Slam, which took place. I forgot to sort on Saffron Walden. Oh, turf maze. That sounds exciting. That's around here somewhere. Right, it'll be, this looks likely, doesn't it? This looks like there's some kind of games shop somewhere near here, maybe. God, you know, this looks remarkably like a town near me called Spalding. I mean, it's not, but that's a posh library. Anyway, that's not what we're supposed to be talking about. In Saffron, because it's in Saffron Walden, so that's why the Saffron Fantasy Slam in Saffron Walden. Edward Adlard, congrats for coming top. 2 Orc and Goblins in 2nd and 3rd. So Orcs and Goblins haven't been doing amazingly brilliant since their book came out. In fact, they're the one who haven't really been helped by having a book. They seem to have gone backwards, if anything, which is a bit bizarre. But anyway, that was the chap who won. David Hopkinson, well done on coming 3rd. And David took a Black Orc on a Wyvern. That's not a surprise. With Trollhide Trousers, that's all pretty normal. BSB, Wallopers One Hit Wonder with a Big Boss, obviously. Level 4 Wizard with a Flying Carpet. And then a Weird Knob on a Wyvern, which is interesting. He's got the... Ooh, how many Black Orcs has he got there? Like 16, I think? Does that mean 16, I think? You've got to take 1 unit Black Orcs per Black Orc War Boss character, so you know, and vice versa. So if you want to take a unit of Black Orcs, you've got to have a character. He's then got some Night Goblins with 3 Fanatics, Night Goblins 3 Fanatics, some Squig Hoppers, and a couple of Manglers. Manglers are okay, actually. So yeah, there's quite a lot of. This is quite an interesting list in that you've got your kind of Night Goblin bit. You've got 2 Wyverns, so basically 2 dragons. This one with the Idol of Gork, which means you get to re-roll a casting roll every turn, which is an amazingly cheap and an amazing magic item. Ruby Ring of Ruin, so, and battle magic as well. So this Weird Knob's basically going out to do a lot of magic missile sort of type damage. You've got a Black Orc War Boss doing the sort of combat-y style damage. We've then got a level 4 Wizard of Illusion that's probably going to stick around with the Night Goblins. Has he got the thing that gives them poisoned? I'm just looking for that. I don't think I can see it. There is a thing that I think that's only Goblin mobs, isn't it? It's like the Spider Banner or something. But yeah, I mean, obviously he's done quite well with that, so well done. Interesting. There's a few interesting things there. Then coming in 2nd, Matt Sinclair, also with Orcs and Goblins, which is quite interesting. We've got a Black Orc Chariot, which is interesting. I keep saying the word interesting. I'll have to find another word. A Black Orc Chariot, which is fascinating, and rather than a Wyvern. Equally with the Trollhide Trousers. There's a Black Orc War Boss on a Wyvern, so we've got that there. Again, Trollhide Trousers are extremely common, despite being 40 points and amazing. Apparently they're very common. And then we've got some night goblins. So we've got a Black Orc mob here, another Black Orc mob here. Again, you've got to have one mob per Black Orc character. It's interesting that he's gone for. It's fascinating that he's gone for a big boss on chariot and then a war boss. Maybe he just didn't have the points for 2 war bosses. I don't know. That's a bit odd. Then we've got some night goblin mobs. Just trying to maximise the amount of fanatics he's going to get, which is fair enough. And a couple of Doom Divers and a couple of Mangler Squigs. So Mangler Squigs will probably hold a flank alongside the big boss, maybe, because they've got random move. So the big boss can kind of just sort of play around, you know, however this chariot's doing. And then he's got a Wyvern for the other flank, probably. And then a bit of magic. So that's, yeah. And then he's got plenty of night goblins and essentially just going to flood the middle of the board with, I say flood the middle of the board with 7 fanatics and a few Black Orcs there to do some damage and some Doom Divers to incentivise the opponent to traipse through all those fanatics. So, yeah. But well done, Matt, for coming second. Edward came first with Bretonia. And Edward has the Gauntlet of the Duel and the Virtue of Knightly Temper and the Ogre Blade. This is an unusual but still excellent combination for Bretonians. The Gauntlet of the Duel means that you can't refuse challenges. Virtue of Knightly Temper, I think, is the one that's plus D3 extra attack and hatred everybody. And the Ogre Blade is of course the Ogre Blade. It's what is it, AP2 multiple wounds D3 something like that. It's a very DPS. It's the damagey one. Then he's gone for a Prophetess, which has the Ruby Ring of Ruin, Prayer Icon of Canel, which I looked up last time. I can't remember what it does. Then he's gone for a Baron with the Gauntlet of the Duel again, which again is a bit odd. Have we got... There's the Falconhorn of Fredemund here, which is on the Grail Knight champion. We're starting to see that quite frequently. Plenty of Pegasus Knights, 7 of them, possibly the best unit in the game. This is a solid list, and I'm not surprised it did well at all. It's hitting all the keynotes that you kind of want to see in a Bretonia list. So well done, Edward. Some people would argue there should be more Pegasus Knights and fewer Grail Knights. You could possibly ditch a couple of Grail Knights and go for a big unit of 5 instead of 3, but, you know, other than that, or maybe drop a few things. More Pegasus Knights is better, basically. But, yeah, other than that, I mean, he's won a tournament. What do I know? So, well done, Edward. Is there anybody interesting at the bottom? That's the TO/buy. Not really, no. This is another tournament in England. Warhammer Old World 2000 points tournament, Saturday, Thursday, July. Battle of the Black Mountains Across. Battle of the Black Mountains Across. That's the end of the title. Okay. Feels like there's a few words missing. Whatever. So 2000 point tournament took place in Warfield. Somewhere there. Really? That looks a bit rural. Or maybe it was there. It's in a village in, like, oh no, hold on, what? Bracknell. Oh, it's near Bracknell, which is just there, not far away from London. But yeah, there's a lot of countryside not far away from London. England's a pretty weird place. If I bet it's in there somewhere, wasn't it? That looks like some kind of business park. That's what this totem seems to suggest, that there's lots of little businesses in there, so presumably one of them's like a gaming hut or something. Anyway, onto the lists when they load. Brennan Browning, congrats Brennan, managing to win this with Vampire Counts. Tomb Kings and Warriors of Chaos, Sam and Chris coming in as top 3. Towards the bottom we got a Beastman list, which is worthy of looking at, I think, because well, Beastmen don't often do badly. So what's happened here? He's got Hagtree Fetish, level 4, Grey Shaman, Ruby Ring, Pelt of Midnight, Gnarled Hide on Doom Bull, -1 to hit. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can take Slug Skin. I know you can't take Gnarled Hide and Slug Skin because I think that takes you over your points for Chaos Gifts, but you could take Slug Skin, which is -1 to hit as well. I suppose Bedazzling Helm is +1 to your save as well, isn't it? So you got Heavy Armour, 5 up, 4 up, 3 up, 2 up. So he's gone for a 2 up Doom Bull with +1 strength. Mangelder is okay from memory. I can't remember exactly what it does, but I remember it not being terrible, but perhaps not the best. He's got a Bray Shaman. He's got 2 Bray Shamans. So he's got level 4 on a chariot with a Hag Tree Fetish, which combined with the Law of Beasts, which is essentially the Beastman's like inbuilt law. There's a spell that does 5d6 strength 1 strength 1 I think, but no armor saves, which is the key thing. So 6 is to wound, 5d6 hits, 6 is to wound, kill stuff. And the Hag Tree Fetish allows you to reroll wound saves. So statistically, that normally does, with Hag Tree Fetish, about 5 or 6 wounds with no saves. So really good for hurting dragons or characters or units, anything. Brilliant. Yeah, so what happened here? Gorgon's good. Harpies are useful. Centigores, meh. Totem of Rust might be a bit of a waste of points on them. I don't know. Not sure about that. Razorgore Herd, they're good. Ungors are a bit meh. Gores are also a bit meh. So I don't know what happened here. This isn't a terrible list. So I guess Andrew just got a bit unlucky with it, really. These things happen. You go to a tournament with an okay list, and you end up rolling pretty badly on a couple of games, and then you're down in the doldrums. So there's nothing really terrible there. Maybe a bit too much in certain areas, but other than that, it looks all right. Right, Sam Kitson. Oh, list unsubmitted. Sam, honestly. Well, let's have a look at Luke, who came in 4th instead then. Who's got an Engineer, 2 Wizard Lords, Empire Archers. This looks pretty strong already. Empire Knights, I don't think they're very good, but if Luke, if you're watching or now or whatever, stick something in the comments. I want to know how good Empire, because I really do like the models. I remember the old Reichsguard one. I had loads of them. So yeah, it'd be good if I can take them again. Got some Demigriffs, 2 units of 3. They're strong. 2 Great Cannons. I think they're okay. Steam Tank, I think, is pretty strong. Hellblaster, that's one of the best cannons in the game. So, again, not a terrible list. Aside from the 2 units of Knights, I'd probably... Personally, I'd go for something else. I mean, basically, Empire, I think, works well if you've got lots of little units to gum up the table so that you can get your charges off with your Demigriff Knights and so that you get loads and loads of shooting off with your cannons. But it does rely on you kind of just making sure your opponent's stuck in the middle of the table so you can keep shooting at them. And that's what archers are for. That's what the missile troops are for. Arguably, Outriders are pretty good at that. So yeah, but well done, Luke, winning a couple of games with Empire. He lost his last game. He beat Kyle, who had Chaos Dwarfs. They're tough actually, and they're pretty tough for Empire because they can outshoot you. So that's a good victory. Well done. Right, Chris and Brennan. Chris came second with Tomb Kings. He's got a dragon and another dragon. And another dragon. No, at level 2 Mortuary Priest. Okay. And then he's got 15 Skeleton Warriors, 24 Skeleton Warriors, some Tomb Guard, Skirmishers, Horse Archers. That's all pretty... I mean, these units aren't very big for skeleton units. I mean, 24 is quite big, but the rest of it feels a bit small, really, considering, like, these ones are they've only got like a 5-up save and then a 6-up regen, and that's it. So they could quite happily be smashed by some even incompetent cavalry. Will do some damage to them. So that's He's got 3 Tomb Scorpions are very good. Necrosphinx are possibly the best monster in the game. It's either the Necrosphinx or the Terrorgeist, really. So taking one of them is sensible. Tomb Scorpions, I think, are excellent though for like little cheap. I mean, I would do. I've got 2 of them, but they're pretty good for. Yeah, and the ambushes rule is really useful as well. I guess that's why he's got the level 2, so he can bring them up later if the ambush thing fails and he's left them off the table. I mean, you may not want to. Sometimes you want to put them out on the flank just to sort of hold a flank and be a bit of a nightmare for light cavalry or something. But yeah, that's. I'd love to know how that list works. There's a lot of skirmishes. There's a lot of sort of blocking troops. So I don't. Maybe he uses all these skirmishes to kind of like corral the opponent into a position where he can get this stuff to do the work. And really you've got these sort of relatively small units of skeletons that are essentially just bait. And then of course Tomb Dragons is probably going to help. Flail of Skulls ×2. I didn't realise that was extremely common actually, but let's just have a quick check. Evils, that's in the bad guy book, isn't it? I think that's one of the bad guy magic items and not the arcane tome things. I wish in the arcane tomes they'd reproduced everything that was in the bloody army book rather than just sort of half-arse it, but anyway, it would just make it easier from like a reference perspective, but you know, whatever. What do I know? I don't work for Games Workshop, therefore I'm irrelevant. Flail of Skulls does not have an asterisk next to it, so it's not extremely common, so he can't take it twice. So that list is not legal. Here, look, I'll show you. Flail of Skulls. It's strength +3, so it'll be strength like 8. AP 1, which, you know, flail strength modifier only applies during the first round. But yeah, flail, multiple wounds 2, magical attacks. Hopefully he swapped it for something else, but you know, but that's not. Yeah, hopefully he swapped that for something else on the day because hopefully somebody spotted it. But other than that, yeah, very good. Well done, Chris. Brennan won a tournament with Vampire Count. We've got 999 points of characters. I wonder what he's gone for. He's gone for a Mortis engine with a Master Necromancer on it. He's gone for a Vampire Count on a Zombie Dragon, which isn't what I was expecting. And he's gone for a cheap White Lord, presumably because he wants some Graveguard. Yes, there they are. 29 Graveguard, Implacable Defense, Drakenhof Banner, which gives them a 5-up regen, if I remember rightly. Which is pretty strong. He's gone for some cheap bat swarms. I say cheap, they're 40 points each. They are some of the better swarms because they have the fly keyword. So despite the fact that they're in vampires, that means they can still march. So that's pretty good. And he's got a big block of Blood Knights. These can march anyway because they've got the Dark Vitality, I think is what it's called, keyword, which means they can march, so that's pretty good. But yeah, this is I don't know. Yeah, he's gone for, how does this actually work? He's gone for Master of the Black Arts, which means this Vampire Count is now a level 3 wizard. The Vampire Count can't do Invocation of Nehek. So it's really only the Master of Necromancer, Sceptre of de Noiro, so the Resurrection spell, it resurrects your level plus whatever. So if it's a unit of like infantry, so if you cast it on Graveguard, it's 4 plus D3. If you cast it on the Blood Knights, it's just 4. It depends on the level. If it's just like a monster, like the Zombie Dragon, it's just 1 wound. So the bigger the thing, the harder it is to re-knit it together. But it's only the Master Necromancer that can do that. Yes, he can do it twice because of the Sceptre of de Noiro, but it's difficult to work out because I think you'd want to put Invocation of Nehek on the Vampire Count so he'd get a couple of Blood Knights back a turn just by stuffing them near this thing, which people aren't really going to want to get involved with, maybe. I don't know. But I suppose this being a Mortis engine, it's got fly, it's got a decent move, so the Master Necromancer can probably keep up with them. Yeah, it's an interesting list. He's gone for like big chunky things and some bat swarms. But actually, in terms of big chunky things, that's quite a lot of, you know, of not high toughness, but, you know, decent regen save. Bat swarms, they've got like, how many wounds have they got each? Like 4 or 5, something like that. That's a lot of wounds to chew through, and you know they are, but I guess they are undead. Which where the bloody hell's bat swarms? Spellbat, spirit hosts, bat swarms. Here we go. Yeah, 5 wounds each. Necromantic undead. They got fly 7, so they can march 14. And because they've got fly, they're the undead things that have got fly can march. Regen 6 up. Skirmishers. Swarms have a unit. Do swarms have a unit strength of 1? That's something that's stuck in my head. That's probably wrong. But anyway, well done to Brennan for taking this Warhammer 2 Old World 2000 points tournament Saturday 13th of July Battle of Black Mountains Across tournament. Yeah, cool. The next one we're going to look at is James Martin, who managed to win a tournament with Dwarfs. So this one's going to be a really interesting list to look at, hopefully. Martin of Don't Panic with Vampire Counts coming in second here. Anybody interesting down the bottom? Dwarfs and Orcs and Goblins coming bottom is not unusual, so we'll not look at those. But Russ Ward of the Bristol Ninjas with Demons of Chaos coming in. This is a really interesting tournament, isn't it? Demons, Vampires, Dwarves coming top. Yeah. I mean, there are only 10 people in it, but still, just about sneaks over the 60,000 that I want to see. Right, Russ Ward, he's got a Keeper of Secrets, which is a level 4 wizard in this case. He's gone for Illusion because what he wants to roll, he can't take Lore Familiar because demons aren't allowed normal magic items. They're only allowed to take their own. But what he's looking for is essentially the Spectral Doppelganger, because the Keeper of Secrets Impaling Claws are, what are they? Like Strength 6, AP 2. So 2d6, Strength 6, AP 2 hits is really nasty. And I think they're Armor Bane 2 or something as well. They're pretty horrible. You don't want to get hit by them. And then he's gone for some other stuff that's basically just debuffs. Then we've got a Demonic Herald with Piercing Claws and a Demonic Locust. The Demonic Locust basically reduces the amount of wounds. So demons kind of fade a bit like undead do, but they've got to roll a leadership check. So they roll a leadership, they add the combat results, and however much they fail their leadership check by is how many models disappear. So it's not how much they lost combat by. So it's not as bad as well, I say that it can be worse, obviously, because they could lose combat by 1, and if the unit's like leadership 8 and you roll a 12, you just lost 5 demons, despite the fact that you only lost combat by 1, whereas undead would just lose a further 1 model. So in general, it's better, but sometimes if you roll badly, it's worse. You can as well roll a double 6, and that means the thing that that's just lost combat, just the entire unit just pops and disappears and goes back into the warp. Now, if you're within range of the Demonic Locust, however, you can't pop. So that double 6, not only I don't know whether you can re-roll it actually. I don't think you can actually. We'll just have a quick look. But that you do not pop. Where's that going to be? That's going to be here. See page 32. See somewhere else. We're not going to tell you the rule next to the thing. You can go and have a look somewhere else. 32. Reduce the wounds suffered by demonic instability. Double 6 are not. Yeah, okay. So they're going to get to re-roll because it's not a battle standard, but they do not pop. So that's quite useful. And then he's got a Demon Prince. So we're going heavy on characters here. I mean, they're pretty good. The Demon Prince is a demon of Khorne, so we've got Khorne and Slaanesh forming a really unholy alliance. Rage and Excess together. We've got a big unit of Demonettes, because the General, which is the greater demon, is of Slaanesh. That means that your basic demons become core, and your elite demons become special. We've got 2 units of Chaos Furies with Demonic Talons. Typically, you'd probably go Khorne with Chaos Furies if you were going to. because Khorne basically get +1 strength on the charge, and Furies have got lots of it. It basically gives them 2 attacks at strength 5 on the charge. It's pretty good. Demonettes of Slanesh, possibly the best basic demon, as it were. Possibly. Then he's got some Fiends, a Soul Grinder, and 2 Beasts of Nurgle. Beasts of Nurgle are pretty good. I really like them. They're quite cheap for what they do. They don't have flanks or rear, so you can't really... They're good at protecting your flanks because you can't hit them in the flank. They don't suffer penalties for you attacking them in the flank or the rear because they're very smelly. So that's a really interesting list, and it's really nice to see demons doing okay. I think there's some really good lists to be had from the demon list, and I find it baffling why more people aren't taking demons, but because all the models are available. Martin Dalzell came in second. Oh, I think he did. Martin second with Vampire Counts. This here. What was it? Blood Feuds. Yep. I forgot to look where it is. We'll do that at the end. Vampire Count on a Zombie Dragon, Armour of Meteoric Iron, Talisman of Protection, Beguile Dark Magic. Yeah. You don't... I think it's just because the army list writer, I mean, he's got no magic level, so there is no dark magic, but whatever. Got BSB, but White Lord with a standard of Hellish Vigour. Does that give reserve move? I can't remember. We've seen Vampire Counts like podium, I think, at every single tournament so far. Hellish Vigour. Reserve move, yeah. 40 points, so it's quite cheap. Yeah, so we've got a reserve move going on here with the Helm of Commandment. I have no idea what that does. What's Helm of Commandment? Why has he done that? Helm of Commandment. Whites... plus D3. Oh, it's a bit like My Will Be Done, but D3 modified to weapon skill. Whereas My Will Be Done... Do vampires have a similar thing as My Will Be Done? No, they don't, do they? No. But My Will Be Done, I think people... Is that the one that people get wrong? Quite frequently. I've seen people get it wrong in tournaments. Well, reasonably frequently. Yeah, it's +1 weapon skill. You often see people go plus D3 weapon skill. Unless they've FAQ'd it, and I've not spotted that. No, they haven't. No. Cool. Right. So, anyway, that's pretty... Helm of Commandment, that's actually not a bad shout. Hellish Figure, not sure. He's on foot. So, Black Knights. So, he's gone for a White Lord because you need to take a White Lord in order to take either Black Knights or Graveguard, and that cancels out. So, you need 1 white. So, if you had 1 unit of Black Knights, 1 unit of Graveguard, you'd need 2 White Lords or White Kings if you want. But you need 2 white characters to take 2 white units, as it were. I'm not going to do the joke. Vargulf's really good, actually. I quite like the Vargulf. It's not as good as the Terrorgeist, but it's still pretty good. It fulfills a role. And if you're going to go heavy on Blood Knights and you've got a few points spare for something that's going to romp around the table and kill a few lone wizards and artillery and stuff, the Vargulf is perfect. Then we've got, and the models that you get for the various models for the Vargulf are brilliant. Sorry, there's some weird meeting of people outside my house. I don't know what they're doing. They look official, like they're all wearing high vis and stuff. So I'm a bit worried that my car's going to get shut in by people with cones. So we've got some Dire Wolves, which are okay. Black Knights, I think, are a lot better than... I looked at them first... the first time I looked at them, I thought they were a bit rubbish, but actually, with hindsight and how well they're doing in tournaments, I think they are pretty good, actually, for the points. I'm just annoyed that I don't have any. That's not true. I've got 5, haven't I? Anyway, so yeah, he's got a block of skeletons. He's got a small unit of zombies. He's got the Master Necromancer. He's not got the Staff of De Noiro, so he can't resurrect twice, which is interesting. That seems to be like an auto-include. So I think the other cool thing about zombies is that you can start resurrecting them straight away, so you don't have to die before it. So that there's something for the, because if you have the scepter of de Noiro, that would be 4 plus D3 times 2. So like on average, like 12. So that's typically why you see units of around about 25 zombies, because basically in a turn and a bit you can get them up to the max unit size of 40. Miss Junkbit says corn and slash together, blasphemy. Indeed, indeed. And Nurgle, actually, a bit of smelliness at the back there. And some undivided, so pretty weird and interesting list. But yeah, I'd have made the not harpies, what are they called, the Furies corn, because +1 strength on the charge. And he's got the Drakenhof banner here for the Skeleton Warriors. That's the one that gives you +1 to your regen saves, basically. So, 5 up. That does actually, it makes everybody in the unit +1 to their regen saves. So if you have got like a vampire count in that unit, their regen save is 5, so it's now 4. So that can be really good on certain characters in units as well. It's kind of like this kind of buffing up. It's kind of mutual buff style thing. So yeah, I don't know what these high-vis people are doing. It's stressing me out. Right, anyway. And then James Martin came in first with the Dwarven Mountain Holds. So this is really interesting. I'm using that word again. So he's gone for a king, 3 runes of shielding, 3 runes of fury. 3 runes of fury is like +3 attacks or something. 3 runes of shielding is a 4-up ward, I want to say. I'm not sure. Let's have a quick look. Dwarven Mountain Holds, runic items. Let's have a quick look at these guys. Rune of Fury is +1 attack, and Rune of Shielding, yeah, is 4. So +3 attacks, +4 up ward save. We've got him on some shield bearers, which gives him extra wounds and toughness and stuff. So he's got a 4-up save. He's got a great weapon. So it's actually, for 309 points, that's a pretty decent king, to be honest. He's then got a runesmith with 2, so he's got a 5-up ward there, and that's basically the old-fashioned dispel scroll, as in the one that automatically works. And he's gone for an engineer, which is pretty decent character. We've gone for some longbeards as well, some warriors, rangers. I think are excellent. He's gone for Rune of Confusion and Hesitation here within these units. I forget which way round they are. Rune of Confusion is you can't choose any weapons that you need to charge to choose, I think, something like that. So what that means is if you charge with lances, you can't use lances because they require you to charge to use the lances. And it also means stuff like flails. Oh no, they don't have to charge, do they? What else am I thinking about? Throwing spears, they're only effect on the charge. What else? Cavalry spears as well, stuff like that. And Rune of Hesitation, I think, or I've probably got this the wrong way around, but I don't know why I'm guessing. I've just looked at the book. Hesitation. Where's it gone? I've lost the bloody standard runes. Here we go. Hesitation is... Oh, no, I've got it the wrong way around. Confusion makes a disordered charge. So you've made a disordered charge when you charge into this unit with a Rune of Confusion, which means you don't get your initiative bonus, which is pretty good. Then we've got 2 grudge throws. I think they're rubbish. Obviously, they're not. A couple of gyrocopters. I think they're excellent. Obviously, I'm right there. And we've got a cannon, some more rangers, and an organ gun. That's really interesting. He's gone for more rangers and an organ gun. To be honest, though, looking at this list, there's nothing ridiculously special about it, but he's managed to win a tournament with it. Like, there's no kind of MSU or no kind of... I mean, I guess the one thing that you don't tend to see in other dwarf lists is this. A couple of gyrocopters. You weirdly don't actually tend to see them very often, even though I think they're pretty much auto-include. I I think it's interesting that they've put them in the new box set that dwarves have got. Then the new dwarf army box, which is 2 gyrocopters, 32 shooty dwarves, 32 fighty dwarves, which includes, I think the Longbeards are in the old Dwarf Warrior box, so I think it's the same kit really. But yeah, but I mean James Martin managed to win a tournament with dwarves, which is that's not happened very often. So well done to James of Armageddon Inc. Very, very well done. And that was in Blood Feuds, which took place at 37 High Street, which was... is this going to help? That says Smiths. It probably wasn't that. Oh, have we? We've been here before, haven't we? We've seen an event somewhere around here before. I can't remember where it is. Is it down there? It's down an alleyway, isn't it, or something? I can't remember, but it is somewhere down here. There is a little alleyway down, and you have to go down there apparently. Anyway, High Wycombe, Dwarfs, one of their rarest things. I don't know why I said that. Right. So then, GLW presents Conquest and Chaos in the Old World, which took place at 579 St Clair Avenue West, which that's telling you where I live, not where this is. No, it's still telling you where I live. All right, well, it doesn't want me to do that then. Yeah, 12-person tournament. Lizardman coming last. Now, that's pretty common, but I just want to check what he's got in his list to make sure that, yeah. And then we've got Shane Hall of the Gutlords, Philip Gales with Warriors of Chaos coming in second, and Andy Rogers with Warriors of Chaos coming in first. Shane Hall, yeah, was third. So this is the Lizardman list: Old Blood, Carnosaur, Skink Chief, Slime Mage Priest. Interesting. Sorry, this high-vis thing, the police has come to talk to the high-vis people. They seem to be wagging their fingers at them. Bloody bizarre. Right. Jungle Swarms, which I thought were okay, actually. I quite like Swarms in general. Saurus Warriors are a bit rubbish, but cool. Skink Skirmishers, I don't know whether they're any good. Some Cold One Riders, I thought they were pretty good, but he's only got 5 of them. Where has he spent all his points? It's in the Slime Mage Priest, isn't it? Yeah, I keep getting... There's a bit of a debate about Slime Mage Priest, especially on the other vids about like best support characters, but I just think you kind of got to take one because it's your level 4 wizard, but they're rubbish and they're a massive point sink. Like, they don't do anything special, really. So I don't know about that. And a couple of Stegodons. I mean, Bastillodons, I think, are pretty much a bit of a cheat code for Lizardmen. But yeah. Yeah, there's something weird about that list. It doesn't fit together in my head. I don't know how it works. I don't know where's the punch. Really, you got a Carnosaur, you got a couple of Stegodons. Just not feeling it. Like, I don't know where the punch is really, because like Saurus Warriors are pretty awful, and I don't think that's a big enough unit of Cold One Riders. So yeah, cool. What was it? Shane, Philip, Andy. Okay, so Shane, congrats for coming in third. He's coming in third with Ogres. Ogres are struggling a little bit at the moment, so this is of interest. We've got a level 4 Slaughtermaster with Long Strider, which gives him an extra movement or 2. Grut Sickle, can't remember what that does. Battle Magic, it's pretty good. You typically tend to see the Elementalism lore, because the Plague of Rust works really, really well with Ogre Bulls, because they've got loads of attacks at decent strength with no AP. So you make Ogre Bulls AP 2 and they're just lovely. They tear through anything. So he's got some Iron Guts. I don't think they're really worth the points. Veteran's quite useful, I guess, but other than that, I suppose MSUing it, maybe. I don't know. Noblar Fighters, I desperately want to get some of those for my Ogres, because I think they are really good. Like, having 20 odd of them, you know, just to gum up the table and just be a bit of a pain. I don't think 40 points is too much to ask, really. It's more or less a swarm. I mean, it's not got unbreakable, but still. Then we've got a load of man-eaters, which I don't think are very good, or I didn't think are very good, but I keep getting told they're brilliant. So, what do I know? He's taken quite a few man-eaters here. I think 5, is that 5 man-eaters? Standard Bearer seems to be... Oh, he's gone for the Dragonhide banner. Yeah, and he's gone for Mournfang Cav. I think these are excellent. These are absolute D3 impact hits each at strength 5, AP like 2. I think they're AP2, if not that AP1. But, you know, high strength 5 impact hits times that many is horrible. And then you've got some really high toughness 4, like 4 wound, cavalry with like a 4 up or 3 up save. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think the Mournfangs give them +1 to save, so I think it's a 4 up save realistically. But yeah, they're just so good. They're so good. And the Cannibal Totem, is that the one that lets you re-roll wound rolls on impact hits? They're just really, really good, Mournfang Cav. So, yeah. And he's gone for a Stonehorn for his Tyrant to go on. I mean, I typically prefer my Tyrant to be on foot because I found with the Stonehorn he got challenged out too much. And the problem with the Stonehorn is it only does impact hits. It doesn't do stomps. So if you get challenged in the first round of combat, you've basically just lost all your impact hits. So you've lost the good bit about the Stonehorn, really. So if you're going to put your characters on anything, I think Thunder Tusks are better because they do 3 stomps. Not D3, but 3 stomps, which, you know, are obviously strength 6 Thunder Stomps. So I think they work better as characters. But as mounts for characters, whereas the Stonehorn is better off being riders because that's always going to hit the unit. You can't challenge out the riders because there's no character. So yeah, that's ogres. They're pretty good. That's very good from Shane coming in third. Well done, Shane. Philip came in second with Warriors of Chaos. Evil Lord Snodgrit, the suspiciously green. Tim the Enchanter. Oh, I like this guy. Goblins love chaos too. Oh my God, has he done like he's done like a chaos army, hasn't he? Where he's like converted everything out of goblins. Oh man. Oh, have we got any pictures somewhere? Full player pack. Oh, it's not an event on. God damn it. I want to see the pictures. I bet these are great. Yeah, so we've got a Chaos Dragon, 5 up regen, got an inbuilt 5 up ward, full plate shield. Only got only got a 3 up save, which is pretty good. 3 Favour of the Gods, that's sensible because they're only 5 points each and they help you to avoid that all-important stupidity roll. And the Brazen Collar gives him Magic Res 2, which means this is a pretty defensive boy. With the Mark of Nurgle, meaning you got to reroll 6s to hit in combat. This is all very, very, very defensive, but also actually pretty powerful in that you got a lance, so it's strength 7, AP2 on the hit. You got D6 +1 stomps from the dragon. You know, it's a combat beast and a very difficult prospect to deal with. Tim the Enchanter, on the other hand, has a Skull of Cthulhu, which is like extras to cast or something. I also got a Brazen Collar, because actually Brazen Collar is like only 20 odd points. It's pretty good. And he's gone for Mark of Tzeentch, and he's on a Chaos Steed, presumably because he's got a unit of knights somewhere that have got Mark of Tzeentch too. He's got lots of Warhounds. I bet there was a limit of 0 to 6 on core stuff then. So we've got some 6 Chaos Knights with Khorne, 4 Chaos Knights of Undivided. Don't know what they're doing with Undivided. We've got 6 Chosen of Tzeentch with the Banner of Rage. What? So he's put this in there to get +1 to cast into a unit that has to charge. 3 Shartax, which is perfectly sensible, and lots of Warhounds. Chaos Warhounds, more Chaos Warhounds, yet more Warhounds. Slightly small Warhounds, but Warhounds nonetheless. 5 definitely not goblins crawling around on all fours pretending to be Warhounds. 5 scraping the bottom of the barrel here for things that look sufficiently like Warhounds. Yeah, I don't know how this list works. I think is it just quick? Is it just quick, like just lots of stuff going around with speed and intent, and maybe the Chaos Lord doing most of the work? I mean, the chosen knights with the Banner of Rage will be punchy. You know, 3 attacks each, strength 6, AP 2, armor bane 1 on the charge is nasty. But yeah, it's yeah. This is. I guess that's it, really, isn't it? He's just got a few units of knights that will just punt around, some dragon ogres that essentially the Chaos Warhounds will corral people into. So the dragon ogres get to do their charges when they want. I don't understand this 4 and 6 business, though. I don't get that. But anyway, Andy Rogers came in first. Now he's gone for a chaos. It's Tzeentch time is his list, so he's gone for lots of wizards, I think. So he's gone for level 4 Demon Prince of Tzeentch. With the armour of silvered steel, biting blade, 2 favour of the gods. Again, sensible to go for those favour of the gods. 2 exalted sorcerers, which are level 1 wizards, and a sorcerer lord with a skull of Catan. He's gone for like an unholy kind of. That's interesting. They've all got Mark of Tzeentch. So where do they go? Are they all on foot? They're all on foot. So do they go in the unit of warriors? All of them? How bizarre. He's gone for a Chimera, which I think is pretty awful, to be honest. But, you know, he's won a tournament once, so what the hell do I know? He's gone for a Shaggoth, which, you know, is pretty decent. He's gone for the Talisman of Protection on the Shaggoth. So that's where his big sort of combat threat is. Yeah, did we have a Chaos off then? Was that the final Philip Gales? He played Philip Gales in the second round. Philip, to be fair, Philip did 14-14, so there was not a lot left on the table after that game. I think Andy basically managed to table Philip, but at the end of that, there was literally, what is that, 556 points left. So what did Andy have left? 556. What did he have left? Interesting. I don't really know. Maybe all this stuff. There's nothing that adds up to it immediately, is there? I guess there's some banners and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting list. I keep using that word. But yeah, I mean, I'd love people who are taking these bloody Chimera things to tell me how they're getting value out of them, because they don't, on paper, they don't look very good. But, you know, I've not tried one on the tabletop yet. Maybe the Fly and the Swift Stride and all the rest on a monster, but it's like only toughness, 4 or 5 with 4 or 5 wounds, something like that. So not very survivable at all. For 200 points, I'd rather have a giant. Giants are cool. Anyway, well done, Andy, with with that list. But yeah, if you are listening, please tell me how the hell this all works together, because I'm clueless. Cool. And then the final tournament is this one on New Recruit. It's a relatively little one that took place in Spain over on Saturday. Tomas Alvaro Crespo and Alvaro somebody else, another different Alvaro, managed to win. Now, how do I do that? Yes. So let's do that. Yeah. So that's the first one. Tomasz came in with Beastman. Came in third. So we've got a Beast Lord, which is on a chariot. Bray Shaman on a chariot with the Hag Tree Fetish, Ruby Ring of Ruin, Wizard level 4. This is all pretty standard, although he's gone for Elementalism, which is not usually the one that people go for. Is it? Or is it? No, idiot. No, Plague of Rust is in Elementalism. That's where he's going for. Probably is the one that people usually take. And then we've got a Wargort in a chariot. So we've got 3 chariots here. Is he just maximising how many chariots he gets? No, these are Razorgore chariots, which do more impact hits, and they've obviously got a Razorgore. Dwarfs with beard and honour into eternity. Okay. Dwarfs. Yeah, Dwarfs won a tournament. Yeah. I've already covered that one, I'm afraid. I can't remember whereabouts it was in the vid. If I'm being honest, it was sort of anyway. watch later. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, the dwarf list that won a tournament, it wasn't like there was nothing outstanding about it. There was nothing, He just got a lord on shield bearer with a 4 at ward and an extra 3 attacks on a great weapon. That was it. Some other characters that did a few little bits, some units that did a few little bits. There's nothing stand out like interesting, or he'd not gone for the toughness 10 item, for instance. So yeah, it's just nothing. So he's obviously just knows what he's doing. I'd love to know what to know. Anyway, back to this list. We've got a couple of units of Warhounds just to kind of go up the table a little bit. We've got a decent sized Gore Horde, 3 Tuskor chariots, a little bit of Ungors again to go up the table. It's got a little unit of Dragon Ogres and a couple of Gorgons are excellent. Like I think they're great. So that's yeah. I mean, it's not a quick list. There's nothing in here that's got Swift Stride, right? Nothing in here has Swift Stride. But then again, that's not really how. See, the ability that I think is kind of dominant at the moment is the Swift Stride ability. Now, but the Beastmen have a unique counter to that in that they have lots and lots of chariots and lots of really cheap stuff that they can draw out the opponent's cavalry so that then they can hit it back with stuff like Gorgons, Dragon Ogres, tons of chariots. So they're really good at countering that kind of really quick Swift Stride type build. The one build that they can't really counter very well is one with lots of Pegasus Knights, and frankly, nobody can. Anyway, moving on. That's my website back end. Didn't mean to show you that. Not that it matters. There's nothing there. But anyway, I'm just sort of slightly embarrassed I'm using Wix rather than a proper website thing. But anyway. Right. Kingdom of Bretonia. Was that Alvaro Crespo? Alvaro Crespo came in second with Mortuary Cult. So he's got a Mortuary Cult going on. Which this happened yesterday on Sunday, not Saturday, sorry. So we've got a High Priest on a dragon, High Priest on a dragon with all that kind of stuff. Have we got what law? Illusion, so we can smack them with the Flail of Skulls at +3 strength, -1, 2d6 strength. What would that be? 7 AP1 attacks. Got a couple of mortuary pieces, one of which is the battle standard bearer, which I think is just I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm really not sure that that's particularly balanced, allowing people to take a little level wizard as like a BSB. That just seems a bit too it just seems to combine a bit too much utility in one hero. But just seems a bit over the top. And then we've got a Necrotect with Amulet of the Serpent, which gives the unit poisoned attacks, and I'm presuming the Necrotect is going in the Skeleton Warriors. So we've got essentially a big load of stuff. Necrotect's ability allows them to give themselves an extra attack and reroll hits. So you can imagine 40 Skeleton Warriors, probably got a frontage of 8, 16 attacks, probably 17 attacks, re-rolling hits, looking for those 6s to get auto wounds because Amulet of the Serpent gives them poisoned. That's going to be pretty effective. He's got 5 Ushabti with not 6, or is that 6? 5? No, it's 5. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, it's 5. Ushabti with ritual blades rather than bows. You typically find these guys rocking around the tabletops at the moment, but not in this case. Not in this case. We've gone for blades, and then he's got a couple of scorpions, carrions, which I don't think are very good, but they keep getting taken, so I'm probably wrong. And he's got a couple of tomb scorpions, which I think are excellent. He's got a Necrosphinx, which is possibly the best monster in the game, and then he's got a casket to dish out some range damage or give the list basically a 6-up ward. So giving everything a 6-up ward and a 6-up regen is quite defensive. Actually, you can spike those. And then he's gone for some Necro Serpents with the Terrors Below, just to just pop them up a bit later on. So well done to Vic. No, who was this? Alvaro Crespo. Well done to you for coming in second. And then Alvaro was the winner of this little dinky tournament in Spain over yesterday. And he's got some Pegasus Knights with Rampaging Banner there. Which and this is a Crusaders list. Oh, this is interesting. This is the one. This is my Bretonians. These are what I want to buy. He's gone for a massive block of 21 Knights of the Realm. Goodness gracious! And some little units of errants and a unit of 10 errants. So he's gone for 21. How that seems a bit unwieldy, really. But he's obviously done quite well with it. He's got some Pegasus Knights. He's got a Damsel. She's level 2. He's got a Duke on a barded Pegasus with the Crusaders Lance and the Virtue of the Joust. So not. He's got the Falconhorn of Fredemund on the Battle Standard Bearer, who's got the Crusaders Tapestry, which is Frenzy, I think, for the unit. Which. I mean, I guess, what can you do? He's got a level 3 Prophetess, so he's not paid the extra points to give a level 4. Lore Familiar, Sword of Heroes, Illusion, Sword of Heroes is... No, that's Sword of Monster Slaying is Monster Slayer, isn't it? Sword of Heroes, is that just Killing Blow? So, the cool thing about the Prophetess, right? Assazinch and Corn Player... I'm a little bit disappointed by my unit rules and points. Yeah, demons are a bit weird. I think there's some good lists in demons, though. Unless you mean Chaos Warriors and, they've basically got rid of marks and, we've got no sort of special corn stuff. So no skull, grind, blood, sick, whatevers. Everything's skull or blood something, isn't it? Blood, skull, monster, warrior, chaos things. But yeah, demons, I think there's some pretty cool stuff. It's just figuring it out. Not a lot of people are taking demons at the moment. They're quite low down on the meta in terms of popularity. Anyway, what was I talking about? I get easily distracted. Yeah, so one of the cool things about the Bretonian damsels and prophetess is when you're in combat, it says you can essentially retreat them out of combat, but you can still use them as if they are in combat. So like illusion, getting that kind of I'll show you because it sounds too good to be true, but it isn't. It's actually in the rules. It's just really weird. What is her name? It's that's the Vows, that's the Lance. Oh, what is it called? Oh, is it actually in her bio thing? Yeah, there it is. If this unit is carried by they may voluntarily retire to the rear of the unit at any time, moving through the ranks and taking a position away from combat, right? Should they do so, they are no longer within the fighting rank, cannot make any attacks. However, they can continue to confer benefits to the unit in the form of leadership and special rules. And this is the crucial bit, and may cast spells as if they were within the fighting rank. So assailment spells are still a goer, which is absolutely just bizarre. So they can go and hide in the back of a lance and still cast assailments. So giving them, like, what does the monster slaying sword do? I want to make sure I've got this right. Sorry, the sword of here, is that actually a Bretonia magic item? It is, isn't it? It's got monster slayer, and it always wounds on a 5 regardless of target's toughness. How does that differ? I thought there was a sword of monster slaying in here. Is that just like a cheaper version of that, or what? Where is it? Where is it? Magic items. Here we are. Magic items. Sword of dragon slaying. Sword magic attacks. Monster slayer. 50 points. This one is 10 more points for the 5-up thing. I mean, I guess if you've got 10 points spare, might as well. So yeah, I mean, so anyway, the point is she can retire to the back of the unit of whatever she's in, probably this block here, I'd imagine, and then cast 2d6 monster slaying hits on, you know, whatever. Just ridiculous. I don't think she ought to be able to do assailments from the back rank. It just makes no sense. Anyway, but whatever. The rules are the rules. So well done, Alvaro, for winning this Tiddler in Spain. And that's it for now for tournaments this time round. I don't know whether you've seen the stats show yet. I did a quick video going through the stats. Basically, what I've done is I've tried to do like a player score where it kind of degrades over time. So recent tournament results are better than like ones a long time ago. There's a lot of people coming up here who've only been to one tournament though, and because they've been recent, those scores are a bit skewed. So I need to work on the maths a little bit more. But I'm getting towards like some kind of seeding system that, you know, I'm quite happy with. So that's I'm not at the moment. I think it's the results aren't brilliant, aren't the best in terms of like who's coming top. There's not a lot of people who've been to a lot of tournaments though, I guess. So it'll get better over time, I guess. But yeah, the win percentages are, you know, pretty much static at the moment. There's not a lot of change going on out there. Win percentage over time. There are some interesting results going on here. So this is like over the last month. Dark Elves are doing really well so far this month, like 2/3 win rate, which is quite good. But yeah, those are the stats. X's Hobby Tish says Demons of Chaos player. Yeah, I think they're Khorne have been done dirty a little bit. I think Blood Crushers are good, and to be fair, Blood Crushers are good. Bloodthirsters are pretty good, and Furies are good. So if you're happy going with like Furies, Blood Crushers, and a Bloodthirster, and a couple of Heralds, and the Skull Cannons are okay. So you know there's a decent list that it's just Bloodletters aren't very good at all at the moment. But you know everything else is for Khorne really. Fleshhounds are a bit weird because they don't have Swift Stride. They're like some of the few bits of cavalry that don't have Swift Stride, which I don't get, but whatever, they just don't. So I'm not sure. They've got the strengths and weaknesses, so I'm not sure how good they really are. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to sign off now and go to the gym. Finally, my leg's just about good enough that I can go and train again, which I've been absolutely desperate to do for ages now. So yeah, I shall say I don't know what those icons are. I'm not clear. I take it as a compliment. But anyway, cool. I'm going to say toodaloo now. I hope you found this interesting. If you've liked the video, there is a button for that. And if you've got this far, maybe you could consider subscribing. I don't know. It's up to you. Yeah, leave a comment if you want to chat about something. I'll try to answer all of them. So, yeah, I'm just going to say toodaloo and go and throw some weights around.